So hello, everybody. Good day. My name is Laurence Kwark. I'm working as the General Secretary of the Global Social Economy Forum, which is an international network of local government and social economic organizations working globally. Our secretariat is based in Seoul, Republic of Korea. You know, as a small country with a very high density, that we are very much worried and paying attention to control. COVID-19 pandemic has shown how poorly funded and disorganized long-term care facilities for the elderly people, which are very vulnerable in times of crisis, as the most of death rates had happened in long-term care facilities. In addition to these old-aged people, I think that this pandemic brutally exposed the risk, and especially high risk, for the insecure working conditions and undervalued work of care workers, especially those people who are caring for the elderly people, and including also health and medical workers, especially the nurses. I think especially in terms of effect and consequences for the woman, I would say in Korea, this is partly true. I think, as I said, women are not more affected than men, but probably among care workers who are majority women, especially in Korea, that we count between 200,000 to 400,000 women are working in care industry. I'm saying these numbers because many of those care workers are still informal, in a sense that they do not have a formal employment contract. Most of women in lower strata of societies in their middle to old ages are working as a care workers, and especially as housekeepers, babysitters, and also care workers for the elderly people. In general, social economy is defined as a set of autonomous economic organizations whose members make decisions in democratic and participative way without being dependent on the power of capital, with a clear social purpose and objective in pursuit of common interest of the community. So I think that in Korea, social economy is seen as an alternative nature of the economic activities and organizations, and complementing the limit and failure of current economic system in terms of eradicating or limiting the damage caused by the current economic and social system. So I would say that legally in Korea that we do recognize 5 different groups and identities as a social economic organization. First, I think social enterprise. Second group is a community enterprise. And then third group is called rural community enterprise. Fourth group is what we call rehabilitation enterprise. I would say in Western countries, you would call more WISE, work integrated social enterprise. And of course, the last group is the cooperative, which is the biggest group of social economy entities based on framework on cooperatives. So we have 5 major groups of social economy entities. Unlike many other countries, especially in Europe, we do not recognize associations and foundations as part of the social economy entities, although some of them are registered either as cooperative or as the social enterprise. What is important in terms of the COVID-19? I think the COVID-19 crisis has affected the social economic sector as much as any other economic sector, and especially a very small size of social economic organizations with hiring less than 10 people are most affected badly. But it's interesting, actually, from the beginning of COVID-19 crisis, social economic sector in South Korea has committed not to dismiss any employees, and they have been mobilizing several campaigns in order to maintain employment. Social economic organizations and enterprise have contributed a lot for the decent employment of especially vulnerable groups who would not have been probably employed with a formal contract. And so it has contributed not only in terms of promotion of decent employment for the vulnerable groups, but social inclusion and gender equity, especially for women who are disrupted from their professional careers because of their marital status, or because of they have to look for their children's or elderly people at home. GSEF has been very active during this time of COVID-19 crisis in order to share about the good practices and especially good public policies developed by many national and local governments in order to share of those informations and good experience among our networks, but also beyond of our network. And we are also trying to build more collective effort in order to give not only national recognition, but international recognition to all governments and international organizations and policymakers to recognize really a great potential of social solidarity economy as a strategic partner to build better of COVID-19 crisis. What we are actually promoting is that not only those recognition and visibility should be given by the national government, but also by many local governments. I would say all 17 metropolitan and provincial governments, as well as 170 local governments out of 243 municipal governments has developed legal and institutional public policies to promote social solidarity economy, which resulted more than 211 audience to promote social solidarity economy. So I think that this has really contributed to establish a very sustainable and resilient ecosystem to promote social solidarity economy in South Korea. And also many local governments have created intermediary structures, such as like local social economy support centers. I think just one word about how Catholic-inspired organizations play a role. I think Catholic-inspired organization is not the only one, but in Korea, many religious groups, including Buddhist and also Protestant organizations, have been promoting social enterprise as well as cooperative for many, many years. And as I said, some of the major consumer cooperative are started by the Catholic-inspired groups. So Hansalim is the one of the very first federation of consumer cooperative developed by Catholic farmers organizations who have built a solidarity link with the consumers in the cities. So I think that many of those religious groups have noted the potential role and value of social economy far before the crisis, and they have contributed a lot for the promotion and expansion of those social solidarity economic entities and enterprise, and especially in credit unions and many of those cooperatives, which has become a major backbone of the current social solidarity economic system in Korea.